Let's start off the pledge. Pledge allegiance to
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Victoria, please call the roll.
Albrecht.
Here.
Badlow. Here. Day.
Here.
Gurecki. Garano. Warrenzak.
Here.
Bono.
And then will be just. Aaron, you want to read our mission statement, please?
Yes. The mission of the Herkimer County Industrial Development Agency is to deliver economic incentives to businesses and industries to diversify and strengthen Herkimer County's tax base and enhance community vitality by supporting job creation, business and industrial development, and community revitalization. We strive to develop the local economy in an organized, sustainable, and environmentally beneficial manner.
Thank you very much. All right, item number 4, minutes for September 28th, and another public hearing for October 25th. They're in your packet. Let's go over the September 28th board meeting. We'll pay this one before. Any additions, corrections, deletions? We need to go. Hearing none, I need a motion to.
There.
I need a motion to accept those minutes for September 2010, second by Corey. Any discussion? All in favor, aye. Any opposed, nay? Carried. The October 25th public hearing, our pages 5 through 6. Reference to Diamond Drive. Any corrections to need made there? Any motion? Yep.
So this was the second time we had to have a public hearing, so the fact is that they did change some names, LLCs within their company, so there really wasn't any difference to what the benefits we offered them, and no one attended the public hearing.
Any motion to accept those minutes, Mike? Second. Alana, discussion? Right.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Carried. Item number 5, our September financial reports, pages 7 through 14. Any questions, off the bat with those? Okay, Jen, you want to give us a little background on this?
We're in dire straits and Jesus clothes.
All in favor?
One of the things that continues to grow in our budget is our property taxes and maintenance and expense line. The reason being is it's always evolving with what we need to do at the sites and how to maintain them to keep them in good shape so we can show them and market them off. And also to keep in standard with codes in the communities that we're doing. So you'll see that number a little high. We just had to cut down one more tree at Russell Farm that we started running the directional boring of the water and sewer lines over to there. So we needed to move one tree. But other than that, we're looking pretty good, and we really should be done, almost done for the year, maybe 1 or 2 more bills for that. But everything else we're in line with. Office equipment, we just got in the large format plotter. You can see something we've done behind us here. Also scans in drawings. We needed the drawings from the park that we didn't have digitally for the water and sewer lines. So Eric was able to scan those in, and we were able to email them around to the engineers and other things. So we made sure we were everything all on the same page. So that's been truly a benefit to us.
The pilots, you said you mentioned the pilots are.
Well, the PIP is for the Frankfurt 5S South Business Park is complete. Originally, it was planned, the money that we borrow from the county for infrastructure, originally that was planned to be paid off in 2035, and we paid it off now. As of now, all the pilot payments from the taxing companies in that park will pay directly to each, or not directly through us, but to each taxing jurisdiction. We won't be taking any money away from that. So that increases, I think our last school tax, payment to Frankfurt Schuyler School District was how much, Victoria?
The final payoff amount is on the pilot report, for Frankfurt Schuyler School District was 380,000. That's just for the businesses and the private.
And that'll continue to grow every year because as, they continue to pay more into their pilot. So these are huge numbers we're bringing back into these. And to pay off that, payment to, the county in a fast amount of time, ended up with numbers. So.
Good morning. Any other questions for, financial? Need a motion to accept the financials. Already second by Mike, discussion. Okay, right. Any opposed? Item 6, marketing update with Aaron.
Slow down. Yeah, how come you're not hearing Garrett discuss it? No.
So 2 weeks ago, me, Jen, and Victoria went to a Clifton Strengths thing at the county with Denali Partners. And then we compared where we scored with John's. As you can see, John took up most of the surprises anyone. But we were all pretty spaced out well, which is good.
I want to talk about this a little bit. We invited all of the board members as well to participate in this. There's still a time that you can. What this allows us to do is take a look at everybody's strengths and how we could best feed off of the strengths to continue to grow our team. In what areas we need more concentrated training. So we worked with Dave Casulo's group. Actually, the county started it, we did it, but we're going to continue on some additional training. So it really does show where everybody is, how it fits into the team, on what you do and what we need to do to continue to make Herkimer County, strong with the IDA. So if anybody's interested in taking this, it is about, I don't know, what was it, maybe 45 minutes to do the survey ahead of time. And then
30.
how much?
Like
30?
30.
Okay, about 30 minutes to do it ahead of time. And then sit in the class was about 2 hours, but it's very interactive and we're going to go from there. If no one's interested, we're still going to continue to do things with the staff in the South. But very interesting, gave us a good insight. When myself and Mr. Bono took it in the beginning, good morning, John. No, that's okay. When we took it at the first time, it was neat how they showed the county and different people within the county and where their scores were and how they're set to do their different jobs. So very interesting background into what we do and how we do that. Did anyone questions on that?
I could, I'm sorry, it's okay, very, very dynamic. It's interesting to see what you're about, this. I mean, it's pretty much spot on when the results come out.
Dave Warner sent us fall pictures of all of our business parks. They're not very, the least change very much. But
Still cool.
we're gonna get snow ones.
Yeah. He really is doing a good job with our state. Helping, really, it helps sell the properties and show what we're doing. No.
This is Four Corners.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I put a,
Wait, Jim, you live in Skyler?
Yeah, but I did. Yeah, I know. It just looks like any other.
Did you hunt that land?
I used test fit to create a 50 to 60,000 square foot building to put on the property. And I added trees.
So I took this drawing and this afternoon I have a meeting with a developer that we were introduced through Hodgkin Russ. And he's interested, they have a different, one side to their company, they really go after like bankruptcies and properties that are in disrepair. They do larger ones, but they also have a group, and this gentleman heads it up, that they want to build some spec warehouses. And very interested in Herkimer County, and I think that would be a great way to start it out in our new park to be able to, have something near the entrance and be able to help develop the whole rest of the site. So it's pretty cool the way that package works.
I had a shortened video of the Warrior Solar project that's being built right now, but it is not working, so I can send that.
Why is that not working?
I don't know, I put it on a flash drive and emailed it. It's the thing.
Yeah. So once again, we utilize Dave Warner to go up there and do some video. This is truly what Brownfield should be used for. The old town by Route 5S between Frankfurt and Utica. And it's gonna be about a 7 megawatt solar project that they're tying into a substation that already exists. There's no gases being emitted from the ground any longer. They're using special setups so it won't infringe on any of the contamination, what's left in the ground. And it's just a perfect project to take a brownfield and convert it over. We'll also put that video up on our website, right?
That's it.
Good. Okay, any questions? Okay. Let's go to item number 7, the 6-year ABO budget, 15 to 16.
Yeah, we have to submit this every year, what we vote on doing this. It's just, the ABO wants us to look into a crystal ball and kind of come up with some proposed numbers for, 4 years into the future. So, it's really, myself and Victoria and Jen sit down for a few hours, go through some numbers, change some things around, and we've been successful already, but you don't know what can happen in 2026.
Accept those. And second, Tim. Discussion. All in favor, aye. Any opposed, nay. Carried. Item number 8, ELG Valley, pages 17 to 30. Let's start with the United African Financial Assistance. County page 17.
Well, I do want to ask Tony one thing. You have talked to their council, right?
Well, I was gonna tell you, I worked in council again late last evening, and now speaking with council out of New York City, and it seems like my opinion, one hand doesn't know what the other may be doing with the company. Was now asked questions, which I asked them to refer back to you. They were asking about a fixed pilot and a deviation from our schedule, so that's not sort of what I have in front of me. And I also pointed out to him that the assessment number that we were using is not to be taken as to be a guaranteed number over the life until construction is completed, which is precipitated more of the discussion about deviating from the pilot. So he was going to get back to me, but he couldn't get back to me in time before this morning's meeting. I don't know that it's going to change the numbers on the application. The pilot schedule may be incorrect. So I was.
Did he give you a broad number on what he was looking at?
Nope.
For pilot?
No, so I said one hand doesn't seem to know what the other is doing. I'm talking to Germany one day, I'm talking to New York City the next. I'm talking to.
Well, when we had that phone call, we recommended, and they suggested too, that we deal with the local. But we're not, in my opinion, we should not be deviating from the pilot. It works for everybody else that are bringing in, many more job opportunities and larger projects.
That's
But that's a
us.
board decision, and it's not. What's in front of us is this packet.
I understand it's a deviation, but is that an acronym or did I hear you incorrect with it?
Well, right now we go with the schedule, we take whatever the assessment does, we put this, but I understand.
Yeah.
They want to toss that out the window. That was part of one of the discussions, toss that out the window and just X dollars per year without regard to the assessment for.
So it's
percentage.
considered VIX, which is some sort of acronym.
Yeah,
Like we do with solar, but this,
Right.
I don't see us doing that. Unless, have it truly be a deviation, a large deviation from what we're going to do with any type of project like this. There's, it's only my opinion, it's all of your decision, but this is news to me. And once again, I mean, this project has been kind of in the loop for quite a while, and we're only doing this to assist with them, so. I'm gonna say that if you all decide that you don't wanna change it to a fixed pilot,
Well, John, that's not, and wait until they come back. It could be another variation. of
well,
what
I think we should vote on this one. Leave it as is.
I would accept this, I would accept the hearing, but not induce. Because we may have to cancel the hearing if we get an application for deviation. And we don't talk about it.
The problem with them has been, okay, here we are, now we have to have this next week, and we're like, no. You know, well, we wanna buy this up, we wanna, purchase this land, okay, but then you miss out on this, this, and this, you know? Does he understand mortgage recording tax, or are they?
Actually, the council out of New York has got a pretty good handle on the IDA, but when I asked them about the planning approvals, there was stone silence.
Because they haven't gone to the planning board
It's
yet,
not like they've done anything yet.
and we've told them that too, I mean, umpteen times, but I don't think it's our local representatives that are slowing us down, I don't think it's the local general manager there, I believe you're correct, because they're dealing with a foreign company, and it's very hard to translation, I mean, they were pretty much out of commission for what, 4 or 5 weeks in the summer when they shut down, so.
So you don't want to amend this?
No, I'm suggesting we accept and we set the hearing. We may have to cancel the hearing. They come back to us with something in the interim, but let's keep it moving.
Yeah.
So it's not, the onus is not us.
Okay, need a motion to accept that application, Brian. And second, Cory. Discussion.
What's the status of their building and for,
It's for sale.
right, I just didn't know if you had heard anything from.
Oh, there's been a lot of interest. Some low balls, there's been interest by a not-for-profit that we fought pretty hard.
Right, but nothing yet.
But, oh yeah, there's been a couple of new offers on it too, that they've seen. I think they're not 100%, if they would have been in motion to buy this and move ahead with this, I think they would sell that building a lot faster, but then what they have to do is there's still so much in that building, they have to get going on this project in order to bring out that here. So if they say yes to selling it there, that changes their dynamics here, so.
Good discussion. Right, all in favor, aye? Any opposed, nay? Carried. We need a motion to set a public hearing. Cory, second by Alana, discussion. Favor, aye? Aye. Opposed, nay?
We're not gonna do that inducement resolution right now. My concern about the public hearing will be that we don't have any planning board approved yet. Correct. So what I think we should do is, Victoria, we'll get together later and draft something that we'll send to them, to Jay Williams, and say, Jay, without this, it's hard to move ahead. But we had that discussion with a meeting with the planning board, how long ago?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
been
at
a
least a
month.
month, at least a month.
Item number 9, the consider application for RV's George New Lands. John, it's on page 31.
Yeah, I know that it was approved, but I didn't really see the financials. I don't know this individual. I understand that they have like a redemption center as well. But I'm truly not, aware of them. So from what I saw, I couldn't quite go one way. or the other. Okay, you are.
He's got the redemption center, bowling alley, he's got trucking, trucking business, dumpsters. He's been in business for a long, long time.
But this is a new one and it's strictly for the bowling alley and the financials showed a big loss.
I think it was a big loss. I don't remember what it
Bowling
was
is not
exactly, but.
What was the
I
loss?
don't think there was, I don't have that. in front of me.
What's your concern?
There was a loss. It's his first year, second year in business there.
For this bowling alley?
Yeah,
It says he was established in 2001.
yeah, but not here in the bowling. 2001 is when he started his redemption center. Now it's Bowling alley, he hasn't. been. for 20 years.
Oh, wow.
See, I heard difference, so that's good if you know him.
Oh, yeah. You know, John, you said gut feeling a little bit ago. I've known this fellow and it doesn't. That's my gut feeling.
I remember the financials and it being indicative of a question to applicant, nothing.
That's on my. Now, John, he's on that boy, I don't, quite a while, not,
It was just weird, he sent in 1 year financial, I mean, that's all we asked. But if you're good with them, that's all.
What are we required for the two consume, because it's not on the application.
I think it is just 1 year,
1 year.
1 year.
Mhm.
That's right.
I was just
It was,
worried when you
it
said
was
no
the
loss.
Schedule C, I think,
That just always.
right? If I remember correctly.
That you had the loss, why you don't think you did prior years?
No, but that's what we have to submit.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But,
Worst comes to worst, we're only going.
yeah. Well, for the 222, I think we only get a half of them.
That's
But
okay, I'm not half full.
I want the entrance, he's redoing the entrance, so I think that.
Yeah, he is.
All right. Accept that application. Dennis Morano, second by Wednesday. Discussion. Favor aye. Aye. Any opposed, nay. Carried. Item 10, Russell Farms, page 37. Look over there with water and food, yeah.
I can't believe how quick they're gonna work, but we should have this done, you can see that here, right in the middle of December. The only thing that they won't do is finish blacktop at the entrance, so. We were over there last week, good group of guys, 2 of them are from, Little Falls, actually live on the outside of Little Falls, and I can't think of what's their name.
Kirkendall.
Kirkendalls. Yeah, they work for this company, and, so we had the town there making sure everything was good. So this will truly help with the park. But I wanted y'all to see that scheduling, it's good to work with a company that's, really involved.
Item that was discussion, item number 11. Moving on, dairy industry assessment and now to page 38 to 42.
So originally, we had a meeting with ourselves, Edge, Cornell Cooperative Extension from Oneida County, Eric Reiner, who's a dairy consultant for industry. And Oneida County just wanted to go on a different path. Everything from the RFP process to not sure who they wanted to give it out to really, I think the process was flawed and there's no good direction on which way to go. We reached back out to Eric Reiner and I didn't meet Brooke yet, but that's his team member. And he's very familiar and involved in the dairy industry, works for Burn Dairy, works for a co-op out in the middle part of the state. Very committed to that type of industry, gave us some great insight. Mr. Bono has met with them before, a few of the other legislators. So he put together a proposal for us to take advantage of his services, help us work on the parks to make sure that we're ready for dairy production and to do introductions to get in people here to produce. As we were close with Fairlife, there is other opportunities here with the amount of dairy that we do have available to us. Also talking with the the delivery people of the milk. They say this would be a great opportunity. So he proposed to us a project here with expenses that would touch about $90,000. We would reach out to National Grid, which we have, and ask for support for economic development. I believe we'd see half of it from National Grid. So I think it's still a great proposal to do. I think that we have some great opportunity to work with this individual. Anybody wants to meet him, of course, if we hire him, that'll be necessary anyways. If we don't, and you want to talk to him ahead of time, that's fine as well. There is a trade show in Arizona in January that all the industry leaders and presidents of companies will be there, and he suggested that we attend that because he could definitely have introductions and we could put together some interesting packets for that. But this is, this enhances what we did as a food processing study because we're dealing with someone local that really understands our area, understands what it takes for working in Burn Dairy and all the different operations there. He understands what we need as far as infrastructure. And, I think it's a good approach for the dairy industry and it'll tie in good. I'll share something with everybody about the harvest facility later. But we do see that happening as well. So we think this is a good tie into that.
You attend to it?
Up in Arizona, I'm gonna try. I think I can. It's not the greatest week for me in January, but, yeah, I
Let
think.
us know there.
It does in certain parts of Arizona, yes, it does, but I don't know, I think so, I think it would be worthwhile, I don't think it's, too soon to do it because of the properties that we have and availability for other ones. You know, the things as we keep learning about this industry, they tell you, well, we're gonna give you 1 million gallons of waste a day. And as you start talking to these plants and these other sewer people and everybody around the state, wow, they end up giving you maybe 20% of that, the rest they sell because they want to make money off of everything, so you don't really need that obligation. And you know, it's amazing. Just like when Tractor came in and we had to build that substation, the engineers from the forklift company said you need X amount of power. They're not even using a third of that power. The engineers oversold. You know, they wanted to make sure they recovered. I think it's a good opportunity for us. I understand how to market. I don't know that industry as well. I mean, he even said, told us, you know, the dairy, we want everything from the west, not the east. And, you know, there's just a lot of inner workings to the dairy industry. I think that would help support this. And even if we did it here, and we got the people here and they saw something in Oneida, Madison, Schoharie, you know, one of the other surrounding counties, it would still benefit our farmers as well.
So let's, comments?
Just from the CCP point of view, would be a real jump forward to get a better handle on that. It's obviously an industry that's going to transition with a lot of farmers going out, but also our key farmers growing larger and larger, but then getting pinched by the various processors. And then the changing, you know, they change the requirements all the time. Like the Insight Dairy 2 years ago, they were selling to Garlic, and Garlic wouldn't let them ship their own milk, and they could be, you know, much more effective cost for shipping their own milk. And then this year, they called them up, so you guys ship your own milk as of you know, a month out. And luckily, they have the equipment that they're ready to put online. But that kind of transition is hard for most of our dairies to deal with. And I think that the more we can know, the more help we can do. So those big ones can support the small ones.
Did you take people to the trunk or treat at that farm? And it's like, how many people attended? Like
Thousands. They do a huge community.
and they get to ride around and they see the cows. It's amazing. I told Mark. I would like to go. You know,
Well, they did they also do like a food truck rodeo there in the summer, which is a lot of fun.
we were fortunate to bring in the director of USDA from the state there too to show them that farm. Yeah, they're milking cows 20 hours a day. It's amazing. Yeah.
So I just kind of, not to be laser focused on it, but the cost is pretty significant. I understand that it does, you know, benefit the farmers as well, but also the meat processing facility, as I remember before you had mentioned it would help them with grants. Do I recall that?
No, not
Or
these
how
guys.
is it?
No, this would strictly be helping us find businesses. Now, it could be ancillary for the dairy or for the meat to cutting houses, other things like that, some type of cook chill facilities, because they all kind of work inner workings, but he really has so many connections in the dairy industry. Not that other people don't, because we did meet with Chobani a couple weeks ago, but I think they're deciding on the Chicago area for this growth. And I think we can really get, I know it's a little bit of a cost there, but I think we can get half from National Grid. I'm pretty sure we can, we've had conversations there. And then I think it's a good investment for, you know, for the utilization of some of our other agency fees and what the county supplies us with as part of our budget in order to successfully bring in something more to the area. You're looking at a dairy processor that could, you know, easily in some of the new property we're looking at, fit a couple and still, you know, support quite a few jobs from that industry too, and continue that growth. We think that the farm's gonna change a little bit too, local farms, and regionally as well, but the beef cattle, correct me if I'm wrong, it's not as hard as it is the dairy, you don't have to go, but people still wanna have that dairy presence. And we still have a lot of it, because that was one of the questions we asked Eric Reiner. Do we really need to do this? You know, we hear it from a few farmers, but is there enough dairy around here to support this? And he said 110%. And you go, and he's a local guy too. He's very, he grew up in the Poland, Newport area. He knows all of those guys who are like, you know, the Weekleys and Ray Donnelly and all of those guys. And he wants to help the area out too. He does need to make a living, and I understand that too. And that is a good sized dollar amount. But I did go back to him and, you know, it was higher when we were 2-county, which is understandable. But I said, no, you know, and I said, I think this might work, you know, too. It's still up in the air. But I think what I know will work is bringing him on and helping us support those areas for the dairy, for our parts, as well as bringing that type of industry here. And he also knows the packaging guys, so the guys who make the yogurt containers, the guys he also knows a lot about aseptic milk. You know, and that's a great product for us in this area because the shelf life is long. You know, you don't have to refrigerate it till you open it. Sometimes you can get about a year, 18 months out of the product. So that's good for our area too, especially too, if we put an aseptic facility. Chobani today is not taking milk, right? But our aseptic facility, they'll take it, even though it's on top of what they normally do. It's amazing how much when you sit and talk to these individuals that a company who does dairy processing can just tell all the truckers, don't bring me anything today. This line is down, we'll do something else. Not next week, we're shutting the line, don't bring me anything today. That's kind of scary in that industry. So they go dump it. I don't know if they get anything out of it.
National Grid, John, is that a Brian Anderson who we've used in the past?
Well, yeah, he's our economic person here.
The same representative team that you use on it.
Yeah, he's the only one that we can deal with.
He's really good, so.
Oh, yeah, and we don't
He's saying he
utilize.
thinks he gave you 50%, it's probably very.
So the economic development money that National Grid gives out is from the systems benefit charges that we all pay on our bills. So when you look at that bad National Grid bill, you see on their line that says system benefit charge. That money goes back into National Grid for economic development.
That's a reimbursement, right?
For us, yeah, it would
Okay,
be,
and then we file for
but he's very
reimbursement.
quick. I mean, every time we turn it in, how quick is National Grid to give us that?
A month.
I don't even think it's that long.
With projects like this, it is.
Yeah, and he likes to bring the check. I mean, I'm open to more, I'm hoping that you'll all sit down with them too and get it under, I know Garrett will, but I mean, you guys too, and anybody who wants to be a part of any of it, I think it's important because we're gonna convince these producers that most likely are not gonna be from the Northeast. And they're gonna come up here and we're gonna tell them why they need to be here because of our throughway, our farms, our work ethic, all of those things, and it's important to them. And we don't have, I don't know if we'll start this tomorrow or January 1st. I think it might be better January 1st and tie into that conference. But I'll need them for like a week or two to really go through the properties and get a better understanding. So when I won't go to the show with a box full of literature and hand it out. No one brings that home to them. But I'll need something as a follow-up or an entrance or something. So, and we do have some brownfield sites that still can be utilized for this too. So I truly believe it's a good market for us to go after. We're not gonna be that nano chip county like it is. So can we get some of those ancillary companies? Sure, but I don't think we're gonna see, another month running. Yeah.
Motion. Second, Cory. Discussion. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Carried. Item 12, Diamond Drive LLC, pages 43 to 30, is a new authorized that resolution.
So a lot of you have driven by our Skylar Business Park and stopped in and got your picture taken next to the sign, because I've seen it all on your Facebook and social media, especially John Scorano. And drinking a cold one, drinking a Bud Light in front of the sign.
Bud Light.
No. But, well, Bud Light just signed on with UFC. Did you see that?
Yes.
Now, that's huge. That's good for them. So this was us changing because they've incorporated another company into their overall scheme of Palucci Trucking. So this is just authorizing that project to move ahead. They've kind of pre-started already, but they're ready to get going and move. So we're just approving the project.
We'll probably close this within 6 days.
How many?
6 days, weeks. They get to close by the end of the week.
Oh, I think.
Sooner.
Yeah. I know.
Sooner, John, sooner.
In the Skylar Business Park, who's still hiring?
Every building in there right now.
Okay,
Fountainhead's hiring, Pepsi's hiring, Skylar Wood Pellet and Wilcor. Yeah. Home Depot, not yet,
right.
probably in, the end of December. What happened with them is they were so far ahead of schedule, they built the same facility in Newburgh and now they have just 2 balls on. So we're way ahead, they're a little bit ahead of the plan for Home Depot, but I met those individuals a couple weeks ago there, so. I'll do a J.
50 people, something like that.
Yeah, it'll give or take. There might be a few more drivers and other things they're looking at now.
This is speaking, we got the sign out there. If people are hired, maybe we should say,
So,
something out there. Of course, they should do that also, but
well, they will, and like Skylar Wood Pellet had a big sign out there, but somebody seemed to take it. And right now where they would put it to, is all those political signs that are like next Tuesday, so we'll see.
okay.
But I agree with you, and what we'll look to do after the first of the year is get Aaron involved with on our site. That as you scroll through, up will come up and say, look who's hiring, and we'll tie it in with Working Solutions. So that way they can see all of that. But if you look, Working Solutions next Friday is having Tractor Supply wants to add more people. Fountainhead's on there. I forget, there's a couple more. Who? Valley Health, yeah, there's a few more, so.
Motion. John, second by Ann. Discussion. Been right. Any opposed, nay? Fuller two. So, there's an application of financial assistance, yeah.
Yeah, so Fuller Tool as a facility up in, what's it, Newport, Florida? Yes. Newport, they've overgrown that facility. They are purchasing the building that used to be a car dealership across from Steve Monte. They've done all their due diligence on it. You'll also see a cost benefit analysis in here. That it's really like 26-1 for them to come down to this area. We're giving them all standard benefits, pilot. I'm not sure, are we doing the mortgage recording tax with them? Victoria, remember?
I believe they already purchased the property.
Okay, so that might not happen, but sales tax abatement and real property abatement. A good company, they want to continue to grow. They have been, they're a high-tech manufacturer. They do a lot of specialty things, have some very nice equipment.
What are they planning with their building? I know they live right on the site.
But with their existing,
Yeah.
I did never ask them.
You know, they expanded it a while back.
You can't move in there now.
No.
It's unbelievable. What
Yeah.
good they've done in that white space.
No, they're good people. I know Rob.
Yes.
Where
Yeah, Rodney, he used to work at CTM.
he started out there and
Need a motion to accept the application. Financial assistance. Unit cost benefit agreements. Mike, second by Tim. Discussion. In favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no.
No.
Yeah, second, different resolution for their project. All right. One, second by. Discussion. Favor, aye. Any opposed, no. Carried.
We're still under 100,000, right? Victoria? So we won't need to do a public hearing when under 100,000 in benefits. But they're working with the town on that too, so they're just prepared. What they need to do.
Item 14, local gas LLC, 5060 to 85, with an $800 social financial assistance.
So that is 80K, and this is their new name. They are gonna do something very similar to what they've done in the Frankfurt 5S South Business Park. We've seen some of the plans for their structure, how many people they're gonna hire, the cost benefit analysis, the location is needed, as well as the additional sales tax that we'll receive. Once again, this is about a 26-to-1 cost benefit package here as well. They will receive over $100,000 in benefits, so we will have to do a resolution. There'll be some drive-through coffee there, some good food that'll truly support the 800 mobile homes that are in the area, plus all the additional businesses that are there, and we continue to bring in.
That application? John, Brown, second by Cory. Discussion.
Tony, have you talked with their attorney recently?
I talked to Steve, he told last week, letting him know that we were gonna do the project today. The title work, given the back title, the original title should be done by Monday. So we're in a position to move this thing along fairly quickly. The question becomes, do we want to close on the land before they get approval from staff on the project?
Well, we were looking at their proposal and it said until approvals are done. But if they're willing to close on it ahead of
I've
time,
asked them to give me, they want to give me a written waiver of all conditions.
okay.
Favor aye?
No,
Any opposed?
Which stuff the coffee?
Tomorrow I'll bring some there and we'll stay there.
Bring a thermos.
And
I'm staying.
they did buy everything. Yeah. And they also have a few other ones as well, like in Deansboro, and they're buying another one, I think. Somewhere in Utica, there's a few of them, but they're really getting into that and they're making them nicer, you know. I tried to convince them to put his offices here too, make a nice conference room and all that, but they have a building near their house, so they don't. That's okay.
We just set a public hearing on that. John, you want to get motion, John? Brown, second by Mike. Discussion. All in favor aye?
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Also the recent resolution, it goes on with that, it's there. Motion, please. Cory, second line, discussion. Favor aye? Aye. Any opposed? Item 15, the LDC funding, John.
Regents one. Okay, so the other day, we had a meeting with the county. They voted unanimously to send us a support letter for the LDC. So we're gonna be moving ahead with that. I had a meeting with Chuck Malcolm yesterday. We'll be getting a checklist of everything we need to move forward. That'll allow us to do quite a few different things. So we'll maintain the same board for the LDC. So when we have a meeting, it'll be immediately following our IDA meeting. It'll be involved in properties. With that LDC, we'll also be able to do some awarding of some funds to some businesses as well. So what'll be nice is, say we have the opportunity to take over Bill's school as an example. Either the county does takes it over in REM, or the community takes it at Article 19. We work with their attorney on that. They turn it over to us in the LDC. We move it to an LLC. We make sure it's environmentally and structurally sound. We do a couple additional studies, but we've already done this. It's just hypothetical. We market that as a structure that can be used. It's an opportunity zone. There's so many layers there. And we work for development to come in, just like we're doing with this. We think it's a win-win. Any additional funds from that can go to help support some other small businesses or work with different grants to help do these as well. So there'll be a long list of things that will be.
The conduit for obtaining, or I guess taking ownership of the property, the LDC, if I understand it correctly, the LDC can do that, but then the county can do it on our behalf as well.
Oh,
No, so the LDC would, the only way that, well, there's several ways. We can eminent domain it. As an
The
IDA.
LDC or the IDA.
The IDA and turn it to the LDC. People could deed it over to us in the LDC. The county can take it through in-rem if it is in-rem. Or if it's a vacant and abandoned property, a village or town can do an Article 19, correct, Tony? And then just take that property and turn it over to us as well. So there's several individuals on what we're doing with the BOA and how we can tie into downtown especially that don't want their properties anymore and want an avenue to give it up. And I think that's how we're gonna secure a lot of these things, tie it in. The more developers I talk to, they say one developer is not gonna do this whole project. We know that. So we need to work with a team, work with a bunch of them. The way to do that is you have to have some type of ownership, not necessarily, I mean, it's called control, but it's more, you know, how many layers can we have to that property? So it makes it easier for that development. And that's where the LDC, which then / LLC will come into play. And then we'll be also putting through the IDA pilots on those. So the Bill School, once we take it into the LDC, we put it in an LLC, a limited liability corporation. Then we give that corporation a pilot, so there's no taxes involved until we get the development going on and then get it back on the tax. It's gonna be a little bit of work in the beginning. The meeting we'll have for Hodgkin Russ very soon will be with the office and myself to really outlay or lay out what we need to do, the process to make sure it all works well. What we need to do to update our website, what we need to do to update our reporting to the ABO. It'll be very similar, but a lot less. The thing that we won't be able to do with our LDC is bonding. That can only be set up through the county. So we will not be helping out Valley Health Services or any other civic projects with this. That would be another LLC, or I'm sorry, it would be a CRC actually. It's a Capital Resource Corporation, very similar to an LDC, which is a little separate thing. And I know there's a lot of, I mean, I have nightmares waking up thinking of the letter L. I tell you, it's crazy. And I don't love Cory. I mean, you know, no Cory, limited. So I think we'll get it all to work though. And I think, you know, we have a good resource with the brownfield side of stuff. I think we're going to set, and we're not reinventing the wheel. So many other counties do this too. We're just going to take advantage of that.
Let's go to Bill School, item 16, last time on our regular agenda.
So what we'd like to do is work with the village on possibly doing an Article 19 on that we would come up with a letter of support. It's hard for them to move ahead with all the costs that if we didn't send them a letter. And I don't know if this has to be done through the IDA or the LDC. I think it has to go through the LDC first to start. So I think this is just, I don't think this can be an action. I think it can just be a discussion because we'll have to get in a formation, and I know Shannon's on the call and she'll get this back to Chuck and to Joe Scott. And I think that we'll have to form that LDC in order to get that letter over to the village to say, yes, we will take that structure once you do your Article 19. There is one little hiccup with Bill's School. It's in a bankruptcy court right now, and I called up that individual and asked him to give it to us. And he said, no, I want money for it. Why aren't you helping me? Well, you haven't paid your taxes. Well, Biden's going to pay your taxes.
Who is?
Joe Biden's going to pay his taxes because there are these bankrupt kids who go to school. The guy was a little out there. But so we'll continue to move and do that, but I don't think we can do that now that I really think about it. So we'll get that moving too. And actually, myself and Mr. Bono have a meeting at 11 to look at some land, but one of the individuals that's coming in also is very interested with a team for the Bill School too. So it's all kind of blending together.
What would be the thoughts on those schools?
Probably some type of housing, but not more than enough for that. And that's what they say too. They like the proximity to the county. Maybe there'll be some retail, not retail, office space on Bright Smith, and then utilize the rest of it for one certain amount of time. There's a lot of money available for a lot of, especially the brownfield.
Let's go to
Well, I have two more, I have another item that we didn't talk about as well. The Four Corners Tony, when do you think we'll close on that?
Well, I'm gonna be filing all the paperwork today because I just got the EAF yesterday. Discussion with that condition checklist with all our due diligence items. But assuming we get on the planning board agenda for the 15th, it goes out, we're probably looking 8 weeks at the closest, depending what happens during secret.
So I don't think there'll be an issue with anything in seeker. We've also done the perk test and geo test and they found area we're good with that too. And according, and I'm sorry, but I'm coming in small and left already, but I was gonna ask, just ping him. He met with DOT and said he's paved the way. I don't know if that was being funny or not, but, so I don't think we're gonna have to worry about those, the entrance and exit. And we also could put another entrance and exit on Newport Road, which is the town, or the town line, so we don't have to worry about that. So I was just curious on the closing. We're not gonna get denied the planning development within that property. It's weird, the property say is this long, and this much of the front of it's commercial. And we really wanna switch it over to planning development because it's hard for some of the businesses that we'd like to put in there. But other than that, that would be our only issue.
I got new maps from Mike yesterday.
More- 10 more we have to print up for those?
No, not at this point, no.
Well, we do have a water.
It's a very nice piece of equipment, by the way.
Okay, yeah, thank you. And then German flats, I think we should have that open too. What's going on there? Let's be honest. I want.
No, that's okay.
I want
No, I
it
mean,
on
we-
the record.
It's one of the most unusual things I've ever run across. We negotiate all the terms of the contract, everything is set to go. And the landowners refused to sign because they will not allow us on the property to do any due diligence and testing. And I said, then there's no deal. So I've been going back and forth with them. Yep. 2 days ago, again, yesterday, I sent another email saying it was the property's hay. They don't want us disturbing the hay field. So I'm told. I don't know what's in the ground. I've got a scenic and historic church across the road, so I could have a SHPA issue. I said, we will reseed your field if you're so concerned about the hay. Still nobody gets back to me.
Maybe we know something.
I don't know, but we're not going anywhere unless we can do our due diligence. That's my recommendation. I can't tell the board what to do.
I talked to the realtor. He says, well, they want to deal it through the attorneys. I said that's fine. I explained to him, Jimmy, you heard me in the car, 100% will make it look like when we took it, probably better hay for you. I can't figure out where we're at with that. My thought was too, did they uncover something and they remember about it? Or do they just, I don't know, but without, and it's getting late now too to do SHPA. SHPA, they have to plow the field, let it rain a day, then go walk it, then they have to do a grid of digging so many holes. I don't know. I mean, they're not plowing it now, they're just cutting it for hay, so. But that, we're paying for that too. We get Ed Zarnecki or Kozakowski to go over there and till it all up for us, but.
I just think we're just old school.
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah.
They just,
They don't want anybody in there.
don't want anybody to touch the property, there it is, take it or leave it type thing.
Okay, well, they're never gonna get
I know.
what we offered them from anybody.
No commercial developers that are touched that.
I think that's why solar went away. So that's our dilemma there. We're really hoping to be able to move ahead. Yeah.
All right, well, there's no one left on the record. Even if everything's small. So it's, let's go to, project updates.
Sure. IDA Academy is November 9th in Lions Falls, not Lions Falls, is it Lions Falls? Yeah. So in Lewis County, if anybody here wants to go, let us know. It's not too late, correct? It's not sold out yet. I will not be here. I'm at a solar conference in Albany, but Victoria, Aaron, and Jen are going. But I know you went to one before and you went to one before. That also makes up for your time, for your training online too. And you get really good face-to-face training. I thought it, except for that video, but I don't want to bring that up. Can't even run the video here. Anybody look at Erin yet today? No one's pointed out at Erin.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's her normal eye. She normally wears contacts. See, I don't find that scary with her. I find that,
It's fun, it's good.
I couldn't do that. I couldn't jump.
Yes, Monday,
We, so our annual audit, so we're starting that. We already booked the schedule for the 16th of January. I know it's a couple months away, but to get in front of it, we thought that was a great thing to do. Tomorrow night, we're one of the sponsors for the Cornell Cooperative Extension Annual Meeting. What is it? What is the?
So it's at Herkimer College at the Cougar Gallery, right in the entrance there. And Robbie speaker from Cornell will be talking about the new state initiatives on farm to school in terms of getting farm foods, local fresh farm foods in school cafeterias and food and nets are for schools to do that. And also an update on the ag environment in Mohawk Valley. Conditions. We'd love to see you all, 6 o'clock. It'll be about half an hour, 40-minute program. There'll be a taste of Herkimer County, so we have some local farms produced to donate some stuff into the Jones Family Farm.
Is there Herc Teenies? Because that is a Herkimer County thing.
Oh, I love the Herc TVs.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Who's distilling gin in their basement?
I think Renee is. Well, yeah, so we are sponsoring that, so all are welcome if you can make it up. I know we're all gonna go up to. The Dolgeville Brownfield designation, so that has happened. So the hard work we all did on the BOA for Dolgeville, now they're a designated BOA, which means better grant opportunities. We're gonna set up a meeting shortly with the state and have them in and go through the whole process with them. CDBG micro enterprise grant, that's back on, so the loan committee will start seeing grant opportunities for that as soon as the county sends in all the paperwork. Once again, businesses up to 5, owner working, 15,000 per employee, right? 15,000 per employee, or 5. That's okay, it's
I think it
brand
was
new.
7.
7,
We ended up that way.
let's go
I
with
think
7.
so.
But we'll get we're gonna create a sheet, right, and get it out to everybody and start featuring it, and I'll help do that on social media. Once again, I referenced the solar conference, that's in Albany, networking the night of the 8th, and the meeting on the 9th. So that'll be good for us as well. We're helping, tomorrow is a busy day for us. We're doing a presentation in front of the state, REDC for the Herkimer forward / DRI and the Ilion forward. So I'm doing 2 presentations there. Then I am also doing one for Leadership Mohawk Valley. So tomorrow's a busy day for us. We did mention the new plotter, so it does things like this. I forgot something. It does other things too. Also scans in some great things as well. So it's really been an asset to us, and it helps move along. It's better than the plotter that they have over
It'll be a big dose of jam.
It did already. It did, and it made me look good too. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. And then with that, I think I'm good on anything, and then we can just go into the executive session.
Anybody else? for the
Personnel.
good of the organization or any comments? Gentlemen? Okay, we need a motion to go into executive session and talk about the Wilson Council, potential contracts or new person.